Welcome, Shack Packers, to Tales from the Shack. Step inside where the stories are cosy, but the chills run deep. This week we bring you a short tale from the Shack to ignite your imagination and possibly send a shiver down your spine. We're thrilled to have you join us, so grab your favourite brew, pull up a seat and swing that light, and let the magic of storytelling whisk you away. The Roots Remember. A dark fairy story from Brittany. There are forests in Brittany where the air never quite settles. The moss grows thick. Streams murmur sounds of long ago, and ancient trees press together, sharing secrets of ages past. Woodland, steeped in myth and mystery, is one such magical forest. And it was there that Elise found her refuge. She'd come from Wren, fleeing the noise, the bustle, and the slow suffocation of a life that begged for change. The cottage she bought was old and crooked, half swallowed by ivy and perched at the forest's edge like a page torn from a forgotten tale. Perfect, she told herself, a place to begin again. The locals were polite but wary. They told her the forest was old, as though that were a warning, not a description. "Don't cut too deep," one passer-by said. Elise assumed she meant emotionally. For a while it was peace itself. She rose with the light, drank coffee from her bowl on the front step, and listened to the forest breathe. When she felt ready, she began to clear the garden, a tangle of brambles, weeds, nettles, and deeper were larger, stubborn roots. That's when she noticed it. Every time she cut and pulled up a root, a pale sap oozed from the root, sticky, sweet at first, and then turning sour and smelling faintly metallic. She laughed to herself. It's like the roots are bleeding, she thought. Little did she know the truth of her thoughts. The ancient forest of Woodland holds a lifetime of memories. Beneath the soil lies a hidden web. Fine threads of fungus, thin as a breath, weaving from root to root. The old folk once said it was how the forest shared its dreams. But now the scholars call it something else. The mycorrhiza network. Nature's own whispering worldwide web. Through it, the trees communicate, sharing food, comfort, and warnings. Older trees can nourish the younger. The strong protect the weak. A forest is not just a collection of trees. It is a complex conversation. So when Elise cut the roots, the whole forest felt it. A shiver echoed through the underground web, like a pain travelling through a single vast body. That night she dreamt of hands pressing against the cottage windows, fingers dark with soil. By morning, small offerings lay on her doorstep, a curl of fern, a feather, and a pebble shaped like a heart. She thought it must be some local custom and left wildflowers in return. But the next night, she thought she heard voices, not loud, not really clear, but a murmur moving between the trees, words in a language she didn't know, and yet somehow understood. She's damaging the forest. She's cutting too deep. When she awoke, the tools that she'd left in the garden were gone. Elise tried to ignore it. City logic told her there'd be an explanation. Past trauma, superstition, fatigue, loneliness. Still, she stopped clearing the undergrowth. And the forest seemed to approve. Birds returned and the air softened. Then one afternoon, she noticed a hollow beneath a large oak. Dark and damp, ringed with toadstools. And something inside glimmered faintly. She crouched down and reached inside towards what she could see was her missing trowel. And a hand caught hold of hers, small, cold, strong as roots. She screamed and fell back, heart pounding. A voice followed, low and ancient, echoing from the hollow.
You cut what binds us. You damage what remembers. You are damaged too.
She fled to the cottage, slammed the door and pressed her back to it. When she looked down, her palm was slick with sap, and when she wiped it on her jeans, it left a dark red stain. That night, the dream came again, but this time she was outside, barefoot among the trees. The forest was not silent. It was whispering her name over and over. A thousand voices threading through the leaves. She looked down. Roots curled upwards and around her ankles, not trapping her, but seemingly holding her, grounding her. When she woke, she was shocked to find that there was dirt under her nails and moss on the floor beside her bed. Unease flooded through her. She packed a bag. She planned to leave, to drive out through the village, leave this place and forget all of it. But at the edge of the forest path, the air grew heavy, and the whispers came again. You came to heal, so why do you harm? Elise fell to her knees. I didn't mean to, she said aloud. I just wanted to clear away the chaos and start over. The forest sighed. Not angry, but old and wise. The wind shifted, carrying the scent of wet soil and wild thyme.
Listen,
it whispered.
Don't cut too deep into what remembers. Tend to what remains.
So Elise stayed. With patience, she learnt the rhythms of the forest and the seasons, the hush before the rain, the hum in the ground after a storm. She began to understand that the forest was alive. It remembered. It forgave. And it healed. Elise stopped trying to shape the garden and let it show her what it wanted to become. Slowly, something beautiful emerged. A tangle of fern and foxglove, pathways curling like veins between them. She planted lavender for peace, rosemary for remembrance, and nurtured a young birch sapling as it rose where the hollow had been in the oak. The locals and then strangers began to visit, first out of curiosity, then quietly as though drawn by something unseen. Those who came weary or broken left uplifted and lighter. Elise never claimed to heal anyone. She simply listened, and the forest did the rest. They began to call her La Gardienne de Racines, the keeper of roots. But she was no spirit, no legend, just a woman who learnt that healing isn't about cutting away what's bad or painful. It's about tending to it, treating it gently until it grows into something new and wholesome. At dusk, her cottage glows like a lantern among the trees. The air hums with life, and if you stand at the edge of the forest, you might hear her voice, low and kind, saying, "You're safe here. Don't cut too deep. Just find your way to grow and flourish." The moral of our fairy story is that you can't heal by erasing what's buried. Growth begins when you make peace with the roots that hold you. Listen to what they have to say, and then dare to shape your own direction.
Thanks for hanging out in the shack with us. If you've got a strange story, theory, or even just a spooky question, send it to shackpackinbox@gmail.com because we'd love to hear from you. Follow us to ensure that you never miss an episode of the Freakin Shack, because listening to us is much cheaper than therapy and slightly more spooky. Until we meet again next week, Shackpackers, take care.